Please ask your friends to subscribe, and if you can, contribute. PayPal at the bottom. Dan McTeague is a really smart former MP. He learned a lot in those years, and he knows a lot about gas prices and climate change. He joins me right now because I want to put the question to you. In Britain, the Prime Minister of Britain has said, I am changing the policy that we were supposed to be dealing with climate change, because he said, quote, there's no reason to impoverish every person in Britain for the small impact that these prices and these taxes are having on climate change. So I'm not ignoring climate change, but we can push off these things. Do you think there's a possibility of that in Canada, in fact, because this government is impoverishing so many Canadians?
Look, Britain and Europe are ground zero for net zero. This is what has happened when you lose more people in deaths, as we saw last year, due to cold weather and high energy costs than the number of people killed by COVID in 2022. These kind of numbers and what you're seeing public in that part of the world is an example of what not to do here in Canada. And yet we're completely emulating everything that Europeans have done.
What they used to be doing, because Britain now is changing. They're seeing the light.
It's now starting to change, only now starting to change. The Conservatives are going to suffer one of the worst defeats in a very long time as a result of this. They had no choice in Britain. And Britain has no money. They can't borrow any more money. Canada apparently can, because apparently it's selling a lot more oil. There's the irony. And there's the rub. Because in Canada, a much colder nation, if we followed what the Britons are suggesting through their net zero policies and the time frame, not only to destroy the manufacturing sector, they're going to make it impossible for people to live. So Mr. Sunak, who is a smart man, wants to win the next election, doesn't have a big chance at doing that, but this is a gamble that I think he has to take, because he recognizes people need to eat, people need to make ends meet, people need to feed themselves. All the other things become secondary in that kind of circumstance.
Interesting, though, the Labour Party in Britain is not criticizing that yet. Some of the very rich aristocrats, Lord Goldsmith, is saying this is disastrous. So you have all these people saying it's disastrous, but the real politics is for saying we can't continue to raise prices and have people suffer. And you're right, Canada's a lot colder. So why won't you're a former Liberal MP, why won't this Liberal government see the light and say, they're down in the polls, we've been there for 8 years, of course they want the same standard of living for Justin, we're going to change our minds and mitigate this damage.
They've created a structure in this country. I call them the grifters, the green grifters, the academics, the media types, the ones who make a lot of money by pushing a particular agenda. You can't turn the engine around. You can't turn on a dime. And so for the Liberals, they're caught. They've gone so far down this road, ignored the warnings of some of their best former Liberal members of Parliament on consumer, energy, and affordability. Look, Stephen, 5 years ago, no one thought affordability was a big issue. It is now, and they can't accommodate it.
Dan McTeague, one of the former brilliant Liberal members of Parliament. You're still brilliant, just a former. 3 minutes. Liberties and freedom of speech are under attack in Canada like never before. So let's keep this discussion on the air. PayPal, write a check, and please include your address so I can write a thank you letter to you. And ask your friends, please subscribe. It's important to keep this on the air. And thank you.